We would reach for the pain pill of porn so we could feel okay. It's like, oh man, everything feels chaotic. Everything is turbulent. I'm not sure about my business. Not sure if my company's going to make it. Not sure if that commission is going to come through that I desperately need so I can pay the mortgage next month. I'm not sure if this is going to we're so stressed out. We're in so much chaos inside, so much emotional turmoil. The story in our head is going crazy. We reach for the pain pill of pornography as a coping mechanism. What's up, podcast land? Welcome back. Welcome back to the Recovered Dad podcast.
Yes, sir.
We are your two hosts. I am Yaden Smith, and this is my co-host. This is your host, Matthew Sinkovist, and I am Yaden Smith, your co-host.
Good to be here. Good to be here.
There we go. I know in the last episode I was talking about, co-host, host, right? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, we're both here talking about every dad's favorite topic. The recovery from addiction, the recovery from the grip of that darkness, man. It followed me around for 34 years.
Yes.
Which, let's see, my oldest is 18. So yeah, how long have we been working together? When did I join the boot camp?
Yeah,
like 4 years ago?
4 years, something like that.
Yeah, 4 years ago. So basically 14 out of 18 years as a dad, I was stuck.
Uh-huh.
I was stuck in the grip of the abyss, in the darkness.
Yep.
So dads, if you're out there listening and you're fighting, you want to beat this. You want to overcome the pain of man. That's why we're here.
Yep.
Talking about recovery, talking about what it means to be a recovered dad.
Yep.
First, putting on our own oxygen mask, focusing on our own recovery so that we can show up for our family the way that we know that we can.
Yep.
Being our most authentic self. So, I got a story.
What we got? Oh man, here we go.
I got a story. Okay. So, now, background, painting the scene, right? My family, if you're a first-time listener, let me give you some background information. I've been married 20 years. We got 4 kids, 18, 15, 13, 10, 3 boys and a girl. They all have bright red hair. Love them to death. Love them to death, right?
Yes.
My oldest son is a metalhead. He's a drummer. He drives a sick car. My 15-year-old is a tennis player, lifts weights. My 13-year-old lifts weights with me when it's not tennis season. My 10-year-old daughter is a musician, learning to play guitar, singer. There's all kind of stuff that happens in our house all the time. It's busy, 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 busy. If you have kids, you know how busy it gets, right? You're at work all day, or you're running your business all day. You're getting after it, making stuff happen, right? You come home and you're exhausted.
Yeah.
Man, it's like, is it bedtime yet? I mean, right now we're recording this podcast. It's 3:40 p.m. in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I was on the road at 7 a.m. out to cut grass with a landscaping company that I have, where I was cutting grass for 5 hours and then just driving straight back. So it's I'm already thinking, is it bedtime yet? Right? So I know what it's like. We as dads, we know what it's like to be tired, to feel tired basically all the time. Right? All the time. We're always tired. The trick is not to make it part of our personality. Right? It's no, my personality is not tired. I am tired because I got a lot going on. Yep. So I think this was 2 nights ago. This is a pretty recent story. 2 nights ago, it's the end of the night. I have just finished my bedtime routine, right? Shower, brush teeth, PJs, whatever, it's I'm ready to get in bed. And it's 9 p.m.
Yeah.
Right? Because I wake up early. Regardless of what time I go to bed, I wake up early. So I try and get as close to 8 hours of sleep as I can. My internal alarm clock goes ding, 5 a.m., rise and shine. Dumbass, time to get after it.
Yep.
I'm it's 9 o'clock. Time for me to turn in. And my wife is getting ready for bed. She's doing like, the red light therapy that women do these days, got the red light going on her face or arm or whatever. And I start to hear noise coming from downstairs. My sons had just gotten home from like the grocery store, my 15-year-old and 18-year-old, and their best friend, he lives in the neighborhood. He's like 19 or 20. He's a couple years older than William, and they still are best buddies. They've been best buddies for years now, right? Since William was 12. They've been friends a long time. They're still best friends. And they go downstairs, and I think I had to go downstairs to get something. Or maybe it was at the top of the stairs, and I happened to see what they were doing. They're playing this new board game that a friend of mine gave me a couple weeks ago. It's this racing game. You move characters, all these wacky characters. You play 4 rounds. It doesn't take very long to play. You can play an entire game in like 10, 15 minutes.
Yep.
It's a lot of fun.
Yep.
Kind of crazy, a lot of laughter. It's also not a quiet game, which I get. I'm not going downstairs to tell them all to shut up, right? I enjoy the sounds of teenage boys playing in my house at night. It's like, I know where they are. They're having fun. My house is the hangout spot. That's what I want. So anyways, go down, see them playing. And as I'm walking back into my room at the end of the hall, I'm thinking like, I have a choice right now. Normally, oftentimes, I don't even recognize I have a choice. But this time, it's like, this is a choice point. I can continue to go into my room, get in bed, go to sleep.
Yep.
Or I could put on some pants, right? Put on some shorts. Although their best friend, he practically lives at our house. It's like I'm probably just going down in my t-shirt and underwear if I'm being on, t-shirt and boxers.
Yep.
Like I can go downstairs and I can just stand there in the kitchen. Maybe fix a sandwich. I am a little hungry.
Yep.
Even though I don't need the calories to, it's like psyching myself up. Go downstairs and watch him play this racing game. And I'm so tired. And I was standing thinking like, my son is 18. And if he had the finances, he would move out tomorrow.
Yep.
How many more opportunities do I have just to be in the same room with him while he's playing a board game with his best friend?
Yep.
Not as many as I think.
Yep.
Not as many as I want. I remember reading something somewhere. Actually, I turned this into a lyric in one of the songs that we have for our band, right? But it's the idea that you don't know when the last time is. You only recognize it was the last time after the fact. It's like,
Yep.
I haven't read my daughter a bedtime story. Like I didn't realize I didn't recognize it was the last time when it happened.
Yep.
And thinking about in life, right? My dad is 76. My mom, I'm not allowed to say how old she is, but my dad is 76. So you can kind of guess somewhere in that range, right?
Yep.
Like, I don't know how many birthdays my dad has left. Honestly, I don't know how many birthdays my son has left. He's 18. 18-year-olds do dumb shit all the time.
Yep.
And don't make it to 19.
Yep.
When I was thinking in that moment, it's like, this is a moment. And here's the cool part, right? I recognized this is an easy game to play. They hadn't just started sitting down, play Monopoly for 3 hours or Risk for 5 hours or a really long game. It's like, this is a fast game. And with my, how can I be efficient side of my brain? Like I can leverage this and get a lot of credit for showing up with a little bit of effort.
Yep.
But honestly, men out there, dads out there, that's the thing. It does not take much. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is a little extra. That's it, a little extra. Yep. So in that moment, it's like, okay, I'm going to go downstairs. I'm going to fix myself a sandwich, and I'm just going to watch and chime in and laugh with them.
Yep.
I'm not going to, I don't need to play. I can just observe. So I go downstairs, and then it got even better. My 13-year-old son showed up downstairs and he started watching and chiming in and kibutzing and laughing and, pointing out the different characters that they have in the race. So it's my older boys, my younger son, their friend, they're all playing at the kitchen table, and I almost missed it. I almost missed it. Now, I'm not trying to promote any sort of scarcity mentality. That's not what I'm talking about. But as dads, we do have to face reality.
Yep.
The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking. And a lot of times the story we tell ourselves in our head is, you know what? When things calm down, I will show up.
Yep.
When things calm down, I will be able to be there with peace and power, with strength and stability for my kids. When business isn't going 1,000 miles an hour, when I'm not so stressed out all the time, when I'm not exhausted all the time, when this happens, when that happens, when this other thing happens, when I hit this milestone, then I will be able to be present for my kids.
Yep.
And let me tell you, brother, we tell ourselves that while life passes us by. My son is 18. My other son, my three boys, statistically, now I'm going to get this number not exactly right, but something like 75, 80% of your time with your children as dad happens by age 12.
Yep.
My son is 18. So cumulatively, I have spent 75% of the time I have with him already.
Yep.
And for the rest of my life, it's only the remaining 25.
Yep.
Same thing with both of my other boys. My daughter is 10. I still have 2 years left with her. But man, the time is disappearing. And as fathers, we believe this lie that one day I will be able to be present. One day. But I'm too stressed out. I'm too emotionally frazzled. I'm too exhausted. I'm too strung out to really show up for my kids the way I wish I could.
Yep.
And Matt, you know where I'm going with this emotional frazzlementationness.
Yes. Yes.
Right? Because man, the truth is life never calms down. It never calms down. More money, more problems. Your business starts growing and it's like, oh man, my business is growing. I can't slow down. I got to keep going. It's like when that slows down, then I can do this, right? When this slows down, I can do that. When I catch up on my rest, I can do this. Man, tiredness is infinite. Business is infinite. Stress, chaos is infinite. Time with your son or daughter, so finite.
Yep.
So finite. And as fathers, we fall into the trap of looking for a moment in the future when we feel okay, so then we can show up.
Yep.
And here's the kick in the teeth. What do we do to feel okay along the journey? I'll tell you what I did.
Yep.
Matt and I both. That's why we're on this podcast.
Yep.
We would reach for the pain pill of so we could feel okay. It's like, oh man, everything feels chaotic. Everything is turbulent. I'm not sure about my business. Not sure if my company's going to make it. Not sure if that commission is going to come through that I desperately need so I can pay the mortgage next month. I'm not sure if this is going to we're so stressed out. We're in so much chaos inside, so much emotional turmoil. The story in our head is going crazy. We reach for the pain pill of as a coping mechanism.
Yep.
And yeah, it forces everything to the side momentarily, but then everything comes back even worse. And we fall into this cycle where we keep telling ourselves, it's like, you know what? I got to fix this. Then I can show up for my kids. I can't really be present because I'm carrying this cloud around me on top of all the stress of work. And we fall into this vicious cycle where we just continue to spiral down into the abyss. Ask me how I know. Talking from experience here.
Yep.
Right? The thing is, if we don't do the inner work now, you will be doing it alone later. Right? Now, that's not to say it's ever too late to do the work. I don't want anybody to think that. But if you want to really be able to show up for your family, for your kids, while you have time with them, now is the time to do the work, brother.
Yep.
Now is the time to get serious. Not from a scarcity mentality. Honestly, from an abundance mentality. It's like, this is an investment. I remember reading the book. I think I have it over here on my bookshelf. I can't identify it real quickly with my eyes, but Die with Zero. This book written by an engineer. He's like, how do you financially maximize kind of retirement, right? Yep. And his whole premise is, if you die with $100 million in the bank, you retired way too late. Yep. Way too late. Yep. You should have retired, 20 years earlier and spent $5 million a year living your life. Mm-hmm. Right? It's like, how do you maximize the impact with finances and relationships? And he makes the point that when you make an investment in relationships and memories, those compound just like a financial investment. Mm-hmm. For example, 2 nights ago, I stood in the kitchen for 10 minutes watching my boys play this silly, hilarious board game. And now I have that memory for the rest of my life. Yep. It is going to pay relationship dividends until I'm dead. Just like you put $1 in an investment and it's making interest, it's working for as long as it's there. But we have to do the inner work on ourselves because the chaos is not going away. The emotional pain, the emotional punches are not going away. The story in our head that goes crazy, that story, y'all, I've been doing this work for 4 years now. That story still crops up. And it's the same damn story. Unwanted, unappreciated, undesired, unloved, taken for granted. If you're a dad, I dare you to tell me that's not the story in your head.
Yep.
So when life gets chaotic, most dads, I was one of them, they reach for as the numbing agent, as the pain pill to make the pain go away. It feels like relief, but it just ends up compounding the chaos. It adds guilt, shame, fear on top of the exhaustion and the stress, right? It clouds our mind. It disconnects us from the family, where we end up with less peace, less presence, less capacity to show up for those that we love the most.
Yep.
Well, Yaden, thank you for that, Captain Obvious. I already knew that. I know pain is a coping mechanism. I'm obvious. I'm listening to the podcast because I'm trying to figure out how to get past this. Well, I have an offering for you, right? It's like, this is why one, we have the Liberation Boot Camp, but man, check out, get our Father's Freedom Framework, right? The 4-rack formula, where you can use this as a tool when the pain crops up. I'm not going to say it's easy. Me, I had 34 years of habits, 34 years of reaching for. It was work. But now, it's just like when I started running almost 10 years ago, I couldn't run to the end of the street and back without feeling like I was dying. Now, it wouldn't be fast, but I have the capacity. I could run a half marathon any weekend I wanted to, because I've been putting in the work, getting into practice, getting into training over and over. It's the same thing with changing our relationship with. The more often we go through the something like the 4-rack formula, the more often we show up in a safe space, the more often we're supported by other brothers who can see us and encourage us to take the next step. I don't say it doesn't get easier. We get stronger. It's just like lifting weights, right? It never gets easy. We just get stronger. We get stronger. So, dad out there, if you listen to this, the chaos is never going away. The stress, it's always going to be there. The tiredness. I went from having babies that don't sleep through the night to having teenagers that don't go to bed till midnight. And it's like, can't catch a break. Can't catch a break. Oh, part of me is like, oh my God, I can't wait till I have an empty house and I can get a full night's sleep. And at the same time, it's like, man, what's the matter with you? Why do you want that to happen so fast? Because once they walk out the door, that's a one-way street. So dads, for yourself, for your kids, for your family, for those relationships, for those memories that I know you want, do the work on yourself so that you can sit with the chaos, sit with the uncomfortableness, sit with the tired. And instead of reaching for the numbing pain pill of be like, you know what? I am tired. I am exhausted. But I'm not going to whip my phone out and get a dopamine hit before I go to bed. Because my teenage son is playing a board game downstairs. And I can go connect with him and then have this memory for the rest of my life with no guilt, no fear, no shame. Okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox now, Matt. I know you've been like, you are way more polite than I am when I'm telling a story. What you got? You got anything? Bring us home.
No, that's good. I love your shares today, Yaden. So much, so many correlations I can bring in between my life and presence and time with loved ones and the salvaged, I think, time that we get back with those that we care about by doing this work, by shifting our habit from needing to check out and to numb, cope, escape, and the presence that we're able to reallocate to our lives and to those that we care about our lives. So brothers, thanks so much for being here today, Yaden. Thanks so much for sharing your stories as always, brothers. Brothers, as Yaden mentioned, we want to invite you to head over to therecovereddad.com where you can grab a copy of the Father's Freedom Framework. And you can also learn more about the Liberation Bootcamp and book a call to speak with either Yaden or myself. We'd love to connect with you, learn where you are in the journey and how we can support you moving forward. So thanks so much for being here, Yaden. Thank you, my brother.
Peace.
Peace.
Power.
Power, brothers. We'll see you next time. Noble men.
Noble men.
Thanks.